Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tool review is going to be a tool from a company that I've never purchased before, so this is my very first time purchasing a tool from Snap-on Tools. Now, it's not that I really have anything against them or anything like that. I know they are typically pretty expensive, but to be honest with you, I just don't even know where I could buy these things. The closest I've been to the inside of a Snap-on truck is by watching coon trucking videos. You know, I've never seen one in my area. I've never been inside of one myself personally, and I don't think you can buy these in stores. I could be wrong. You can comment below and correct me on that. But you can order them off their website. I ended up getting mine off eBay because the website, the price was a little bit cheaper on the Pliers, but the shipping was astronomical. So I ended up getting mine on eBay. And what these are the LN46ACF. It is their 7-inch long nose Talon grip slip joint pliers. It's a really long name. And I didn't buy them because they are snap-on. I bought them because they are a unique pair of pliers. No one else makes them, and they just so happen to be snap-on. I find that they're going to be probably pretty useful. I've watched many videos on these. I watched the one over on Project Pine Hills. Sam did a video for this, and then also Doc over at Last Best Tool, and he says they're his new go-to pliers whenever I watch that video, and he's got a lot of pliers, so if they're his go-to, they got to be pretty good. So I decided I was going to go ahead and venture and make this my first Snap-on tool purchase. And then they also have, this is the second pair they came out with, a little bit smaller. I typically run smaller hand tools for the most part. This seems like that's more in my line of work. I don't really get into needing big things that often. They also have a 9-inch pair that actually came out before this one. That is the LN47ACF, and I didn't buy that one yet because I've been watching a lot of SEMA tool videos where they're going to those SEMA shows, and Harbor Freight is coming out with an Icon clone of the 9-inch. So again, that was another reason why I went ahead and decided I'm going to get the 7-inch now, try that out, see how I like it, and then I'll see what that price difference is between the Icon whenever it comes out for the 9-inch versus picking up that Snap-on. So I decided I was going to go ahead and try these out and see how I like them. So I'm going to go over the features of it, show it to you, why I think it's going to be useful based on those features, and then again, you can just decide for yourself what you think about them. So let's go ahead and get into these Snap-on Talon grip pliers. So again, when we look at all of its features and we get into this, it is a 7-inch long plier. Mine has green handles. You can get multiple color handles. They got blue, black, orange, high vis, red, pink, all sorts of colors. I got green because I got it on eBay, and the cheapest price I could find was green. I didn't necessarily care what color the handles are. I kind of don't mind that it's not red because all my other ones are red, so now that would make this one stand out a little bit. But also, I got these on eBay for $69. Now, it's a little bit cheaper to go to snapon.com, and you can get them for like $61 or $62 or something like that. You can only get red whenever I look, but then also the shipping was going to be $22. So that put me well above what I ended up paying for these on eBay, so that's why I went the eBay route. And for that $69, again, I get that Snap-on, made in the USA, and there's the part number again on that LN46ACF. Has 3 different settings for your sizes, so you know you can get into smaller stuff. You go to that middle size, it spreads out a little bit farther. You go over to that third section, spreads out even more. I will say off from the get-go, it feels like my middle one, whenever I hit it, I've got to kind of hit that one right on in order for it to kind of catch. It's a little bit hard for me to get that to hit just like easy. Let me know if you've got these, if that's normal, or maybe it's something that's going to wear you in. If I go to the edges, I mean, it shuts super simple, and I don't have any problem. But if I go to that middle, unless I hit it just right, it seems like it catches now and then. It does have good flop on it. I am really impressed with that. That's one of the main things I look for on a pair of pliers. That's why I was trying to find a tool truck so I could actually go get me a pair in my hands and use it. So I really like the action on it. It's really nice as far as the smoothness of how you can open and close that. So then the main thing that you get into with this is you can see that the jaws become parallel. That's the big difference between it and maybe any other pair of long nose or needle nose pliers. As I close that, you can see that I got a V there, versus as I close that, it's like a U. I don't have that, you know, spreading out going like this, which is going to allow you more contact on a fastener. So as I go into this nut right here and I grab it out there on the end, as I make contact, if I put it flat on one side, you can see I'm making really good contact on one side, but this other side, I'm only basically touching in one point. Whereas with these, as I open that up, I can get totally parallel. I've got full contact on both sides of that nut. That's what makes these kind of a little bit special more than anything, is the fact that you get more bite onto a fastener. But then on top of that, you got 3 different teeth. Again, most other pair of pliers that you're going to look at, you're going to have teeth on a section of it. They're usually all exactly the same. And then you're going to have some smooth points as well. That's going to allow you to where if you go down into there, you're not really going to grab anything. I don't have any pliers that are like this to compare it to 100%. Those are the knipex 2611-200, just their standard needle nose type pliers. Here's the gear wrench 82-121s. If I open those up, again, you can see there, teeth so far, smooth part, and then a really big cutter. So again, it's a different plier, but it's still, every single pair of pliers that I have don't have teeth 100%, and they get more aggressive as you get down into here. So you've got up here at the very bottom in this section right here, that's more kind of that standard rounded thing to work on round objects or whatever it is really aggressive teeth. Then you get into some heavy serrations here in this middle, and then you got one smooth spot, which I'll show you what that's for here in just a minute. And then at the very tip, you got some fine serrations to still be able to grab a hold of things. So again, 100% grip no matter where you grab something on here, and you're parallel, so you're going to be able to grab more things, or actually grab a hold of something in more spots than what you can do with other pairs of pliers. Now the big thing that a lot of people do with this, or showing it in action anyways, is a nickel has a very fine edge on it that sticks up, a little bump. I don't know that I'll be able to get it in the picture. Let's see if I can show it to you there. You won't hardly be able to see it, but the grip on this is so good that you can come down and grab a hold of the edge of that nickel and then pick it up. I haven't been able to do it with any of these other needle nose pliers. I haven't been able to grab it with that, except for this gear wrench. Surprisingly enough, I've been able to pick it up with those gear wrenches as well, which I do kind of like these. I've had these for some time. I made a little video about those. I actually bought these as an extra to get another pair of pliers, and I found that I actually like these better than the other ones that I picked up. So again, that's the main thing, is that parallel jaws, heavy serrations, or basically teeth from beginning to end to be able to grab things. Whatever you grab a hold of, I mean, you're going to grab a hold of it. It's not going to want to let go. I've seen videos of a guy on YouTube that had this on a lift. He grabbed a hold of it, picked up his body weight, and the pliers still held. I mean, it's amazing the kind of grip that you can get on these. Everything that I've gripped with it so far has not been an issue to be able to grab a hold of it. So it goes everywhere from this size right here, and then that's the smallest that it's going to possibly go, is that right there. But if I open it to the fullest amount and then I go parallel, let's say I get to right there, you've got about 1 inch in between here as far as for this 7-inch pair of pliers. Now obviously I can open it farther, but you're not going to be parallel at that point. So I'm going to say 1 inch is probably the max that you're going to want to use this for, not to say that you couldn't go a little bit bigger. So again, that's the gist of these pliers. There's not a lot more that I can say about it. Again, I haven't used them a ton. I've just got them here recently. This is kind of my Christmas present to myself that I picked up, because I've been watching videos on them for a while, and I just was like, man, that's kind of expensive for a pair of pliers. But in all reality, $69. I've bought plenty of pairs of knipex that was right around that price range, and this is just unique. It's something that I've not seen, and I think it's going to be extremely useful. I could see this becoming probably a plier that you just put in your pocket, and this is the one you carry around with you all the time. So there is one more feature on it that I didn't mention. I told you about that smooth spot right here that's on both sides. If I get to the smallest size and I close those up, it basically, you can see there's a little like a ledge right there. That is for fuse pulling, so it actually kind of grabs a hold of a fuse, and then whenever you pull back on it, that lip catches on that edge. It's for you to be able to pull a fuse or be able to put one back in. I won't probably ever use that feature. I'm really, again, like I said, I'm not a mechanic. I don't really work on cars and things that much. I'm going to change out this number 3 fuse on a air conditioner unit more than I'm going to do anything in a car. So it's a nice feature probably for some of you out there, so I didn't want to pass it up. And the last feature that it has that I don't want to overlook is it does have a wire cutter. You can see there at the bottom, that very last thing down here, as I close that, it kind of acts like a small shear. You're not going to be able to cut big things with it. You're not going to be able to cut, like, use it as electrical pliers and cut through Romex or something like that. It's going to be kind of one wire at a time. I have some 14 gauge solid wire here. It cuts right through that. I think to me that's the max, because whenever I go to 12 gauge solid wire and I try to cut it, it will cut it, but it doesn't cut it off all the way. So you could use it on 12, but you're going to have to finish it off with something, and it's not really going to be that clean of a cut. It doesn't really do very good on stranded wire. It always does the same thing for me. It cuts it, but then it folds it over. Maybe if you get into some smaller stranded gauge wire, maybe it would work. This is the smallest that I actually have here at my house, so maybe if you get into like some 18 or something like that, maybe it would cut it. But again, it's just kind of it's there. I wouldn't really call it a great feature on this pair of pliers. I don't know if the 9-inch cutter is bigger than what it is on these 7-inch, but it is a feature that it has. So yeah, guys, that is the 7-inch long nose Talon grip slip joint pliers. That's a mouthful. I think they're going to be extremely useful. I think they could even maybe become your everyday carry type plier, because I can see it doing a whole lot of things. Maybe just hanging out in your pocket, or if you got a small pouch where you can only have one pair of pliers, this one might be it. I'm going to put it to use over this next year in 2024. We'll see how it goes. Again, I didn't buy them because they're snap-on. We're going to see. I don't think it's going to send me down a snap-on rabbit hole of buying a bunch of snap-on tools or anything like that. But I could see myself for sure probably getting a 9-inch pair, whether it's the Icon or the snap-on, here in this upcoming year as well. So hope it was useful in some way. You guys let me know in the comments below. If you've got these, let us know what you think about them. If you don't have them, let me know what you think about them. Do you think that it's something that would be useful to you? Let me know that as well. But again, hope it was useful. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. And then also, if you celebrate, have a Merry Christmas. And I'll see you on the next video.